as far as the FRS goes, I actually got this car to modify it for the track. Check out that intercooler right there. See that? It's turbo. Yeah, there. Yeah, so this is basically probably still part of the second phase of modifying the car. I'm gonna start, like I said, doing the performance parts because I'm already gonna install the bigger brakes, the oil cooler, the radiator. Now, top it all off, I'm gonna go ahead and turbocharge this baby right here. That's basically a missing link. I actually wanted to get something more exciting, for as a daily driver than just the FJ or the XB. So I figure why not get an Evo? I'm not really thinking about doing much to it, or I wasn't really thinking about doing that much modifications to it because, well, it's already fast from the get-go. It already has a turbo, it's got the all-wheel drive, so it has all those special features that I already like in a tuner vehicle. So all I have to do is just some minimal modifications, if you will, like probably upping the boost, which is what I did. I reflashed it, boosting more so I can have more horsepower, change the suspension so I could lower it even more. I wanted to kind of give it a better stance. I didn't want to make it too low where I can't really drive it that much because it's still a daily driver. So, but I wanted it low enough where where it really looks good to me and I'm able to have a nice stance to it. Put the wheels on. I originally had some black powder coated wheels, but I just wasn't satisfied with that because everybody started getting it. I guess it became the fad. So I wanted to have something different. So I got these gram lights and had them powder coated candy teal to kind of make it stand out a little bit without, being too wild. Like I didn't want it to be fluorescent or anything because that's too kiddish for my taste. But I figured this is playful enough, but yet it's not too crazy. Originally, my wheels were black 57 gram lights 57 DR that I purchased brand new from a warehouse in El Monte. Just as soon as I purchased them brand new, I had them powder coated teal because I already had that planned, and it was really just something that I've been wanting to do, just to add some flavor for the Evo X. It's not permanent because I still have my black Koenigs, which I use for the tracks. So this one is more just for chill, show, go to car meets and stuff like that, hanging out with the FRS. Because the Evo is still more of the daily driver and the track car as well, so I interchange with the black wheels and the teal wheels for that. Okay, so come summertime, I normally like to go to the backyard and park my cars right there in the RV parking and really just enjoy them as I jump in the pool. And I like to do that. I usually, with the FRS and the Evo, I like to do that. I like to jump in the pool to sort of clear my head, if you will, especially on a hot day, a hot, sweaty day. It's good to clear my head and then just reflect and then think about what my next move will be in terms of modifications for both the Evo and the FRS. And as I mentioned, I think before, I don't really have big plans for the Evo in terms of mods because it's my daily. And for the FRS, there are many plans because it's kind of like a blank canvas. It doesn't have that much stuff on it like the Evo does. And so I could add more things to the FRS. But either way, that's what I do. I normally go to the back and think about what my next move would be. It's like a form of meditation. I know it seems kind of weird. Everybody has their own thing. Okay, for me, because I don't know, maybe because I'm a martial artist and I
I do a lot of that stuff, and so to me, this is sort of another form of meditation for me. I like cars. I've had cars since I was a kid, and so it's just sort of part of the family. Part of my process when I chill and sort of have this meditation in the back and have some barbecue is really just spending time with my cars without anyone, because then I can kind of clear my mind, just clear my mind for a little bit. I know that may sound kind of odd, but it's good to clear my mind, have some barbecue, relax, and then I can start thinking about what other types of mods I would add to the cars, because it's just something that has to be fun to do, because if it's not fun, then why do it, right? So that's how I see it.
Look how juicy my ribs are. Take a look. Look at that. Looks good, huh? Smells good too. Cover it for like 30 seconds.
So I didn't really want to do any major mods to the Evo because it's my daily driver. Wheels, coilovers, reflash tubing, just some performance parts on the intercooler so it's faster. And that's pretty much it. I drive this every day. I drive it to even buy groceries. It eats a lot more gas than I would want it to, but otherwise it's pretty reliable for a turbo car. Kind of a cool, lightly modified daily driver, if you will, kind of to satisfy my tuner tendencies.
So as I've mentioned in the beginning, I was one of the first owners of these FRS, which I purchased like sometime late 2012, and I didn't really waste much time. I started modifying that car right away. Added the gram lights, the exhaust, some other stuff, some other suspension parts. So I didn't really waste much time in terms of modding that car, because it's really, like I said, a blank canvas. And when I take a break, instead of spending time outside and going to car meets all the time, sometimes I like to take a break, right? Then that's when I get a chance to sort of reflect and just think about what my next move would be.
Okay, so these are all the parts I have right now. I'm trying to get ready to install them. The turbo kit that I have, all the essentials that I'm going to be using, which includes the intercooler, the turbo, blow-off valve, and a lot of the piping that I'm going to be using to get this thing started. Yeah, it should be good. These are one of the best. Well, it's a little bit pricey, having this kit, but this is actually one of the best investments you can put on a car that doesn't have a turbo kit, because you want to make sure that you do, when you spend money on tuning your car or adding stuff, you want to make sure you spend money wisely and add the things that really matter. And certainly having a turbo is definitely one of those things that really matters. So yeah, it is kind of pricey, but it's actually worth it when you think about it. Not only does it make your car fast, it gives you those bragging rights, and it kind of looks cool when you open the engine bay. Once I have everything installed, once I have the turbo kit installed and everything, and it's all in place, the pipes actually look good inside the engine bay as well. So be a very good upgrade. It'll be very nice once it's done. And then after that, it's probably back to aesthetics again. For now, I'll cherish this moment of just trying to figure out how to install this turbo kit.
let's talk about the tuner bug, which seems to be something that we as car enthusiasts tend to get here and there within the span of our lifetime. It doesn't matter if it's a couple months or a couple years or even decades, but if you're a car guy, whether you're hardcore or you're just like a hobbyist or part-time, it can still get you, you know, the tuner bug can still get you, like it's done to me. So I don't really consider myself hardcore that way. Just because I have a few cars through the years, it doesn't mean that I don't feel like I'm really a hardcore gearhead that way, or even fanboy. Though I do admit that I do think about modifying cars quite often, even when I'm taking a break, even if I'm taking some time off, or whenever I have a spare time and I'm not doing my other passions, then I do tend to think about cars quite a bit. And so one thing though I said when a few years back, after I felt like I kind of got all the modifications and stuff out of my system, was that I wasn't gonna modify cars anymore. I wasn't going to just get into that anymore, because I just got turned off by some of the people in the industry, and I was much younger back then, so I just didn't really want to deal with all that stuff. But now that I'm older, I realize that you just have to accept who you are, and if you are a car guy, then just accept it, just like I do. Doesn't matter if other people like it. If you like it and that's what you enjoy doing, then go for it. Doesn't matter if it's just part-time and you have other passions. Just do it on your spare time, like I do. Yeah, some people will not like the cars you have, or will not like the things you say, the things you add. Who cares? That's them. Yeah, the tuner bug is real, and it happens to a lot of us car guys. And it doesn't matter how long it takes, but eventually when you get bit, you get bit.
I just kind of got the bug, I guess. Now that I did slight modifications back on this Evo and my FRS, I'm starting to get the bug again. I don't know why. I really can't explain it. Maybe because I'm into cars, and maybe it's just in my genes. Or maybe I just, when I see something nice, or I see the possibilities of how I visualize how certain cars would look if I, say, added a certain kit, or if I enhanced it in some way, put certain type of wheels, modify it in certain ways, and just personalize it the way I would want to.
Well, I do park the cars in the backyard, the RV parking, but if they're clean, I normally don't want to keep them there all day, because then it gets dusty, or if it rains and stuff like that. So I like to usually go ahead and drive them back and put them back inside the garage, because then it stays clean, or at least less dusty for much longer. And that's what I do with the FRS and the Evo when it's time to sort of call it a day. Park them in the garage, and then just maybe dust them real quick, the wheels really quick, the windows and stuff like that, and then not worry about it anymore. So again, that's the beauty of having the RV, and that's the beauty of having a garage as well.
My scratcher. My Sunday scratcher.
So that's pretty much it for the Evo as far as mods. Just adding the teal wheels along with my black ones, which I still have for track days. And that's it, because I don't want to go crazy on it, because it's really what I drive the most. As far as the FRS, that one will have more modifications, because as I mentioned before, it's a blank canvas. So I'll be adding more stuff to it, more parts, the turbo, and all kinds of other stuff, different types of wheels, which I'll be showing you in the future. Then of course, when it's time to do errands, like I've mentioned in previous video about the Evo, I would drive it to check on the MR2, or I would do light grocery, or go to the meets and stuff like that. Normally I would take the Evo over the FRS. It's more comfortable for daily driving. It's higher, it's not as low. It's easier to get into. It's faster, stuff like that. So I do that. Then the FRS is usually driven, like if I go to like the tracks, canyon driving and stuff like that, then I would interchange. But you know, again, this video is not really like a how-to video or talking about my mods and stuff like that. It's kind of just like a part of my lifestyle with what I do. I share with you guys what I do with my time. Sometimes it's nothing, just sitting around, whether it's jumping in the pool or chilling or just, I don't know, just hanging out in the garage.